Hello, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Hello, John. We are about to start. So Oriana is having some technical issues to connect. So we are waiting for her to join us. And we are waiting for her to start the webinar. And for the rest of the attendees that we send a reminder now. Thank you for the suggestion. I will. Hello, Victoria. Thank you for joining us. We are about to start. So the speakers are having some technical issues to share their presentation and join the webinar. In the meantime, if you can, please leave in the chat where you're from and from where you're watching us, so we get to know you better. We are so happy to have you all here. Thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure to count with you. Feel free to use the chat box and the Q&A box to ask the speakers all of your concerns so they are able to answer them as soon as possible. I'm sorry for the delay. I hope that they can solve it soon. And also, if you don't mind answering the poll that should appear on your screen, so we get to know you better and we know if you are already an existing Real Estate IQ subscriber, if you would like to have a one-on-one consultation of our services and a free demonstration of our tools. Hello, Orianna, how are you doing?
Good, how are you today?
Very well, thank you. Did you manage to connect properly?
Yeah, sorry, it was giving me a hard time.
No worries, that's perfectly fine. So we will move forward with the Real Estate IQ presentation and then you can move forward with yours. Is that okay for you?
Of course, absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, so guys, moving forward from our side, welcome. We are so happy to have you here today. So let's get started. For the ones that haven't heard of us before, we are Real Estate IQ. We have more than 500 webinars hosted, more than 100 keynote speakers, and more than 12,000 registered attendees. Let me tell you a little bit about who we are. So we are a lead generation software and solutions company focused on helping real estate investors like you kickstart their businesses. So we strive to become the platform and resource to help you achieve the real estate dream. So what do? We provide real estate solutions to make deals come true. We offer a suite of lead generation automation tools, educational content, and additional services to the real estate industry to help entrepreneurs kickstart and grow their business. So this is the streamline of our solutions. We offer off-market leads to find the freshest data mined straight from the card houses daily on our data portal. We offer you events, re-education led by experts, and training on our solutions. Skip tracing, get homeowners contact information effortlessly, CRM perfect to track listings and marketing campaigns, virtual assistance, virtual support for administrative tasks, customer service, and more. Fire personalized financial checkups and consultancy. EVA run real estate comps in seconds with our renewed evaluation CMA. CLM, we now provide custom off-market data mining all over 50 states. And last but not least, the membership tailor plans to meet every investor's needs. So this is the deal of the day. You can scan the QR code because today we bring you this golden lead to grow your business. You can contact us to learn more. You can sign up to get the full address and submit your deals to advertise. You can also join us in our newsletter so you can stay informed with Real Estate IQ's weekly newsletter, get market insights, data updates, and event highlights. All you need for successful real estate investments. By scanning the QR code, you won't miss any of our weekly webinars and in-person events. And talking about that, we have an in-person event on March 31st on this Sunday, and we expect to see you there. I'm gonna give you the address in the chat in a few seconds. And we also offer you a consultation, a complimentary 30-minute in-depth one-on-one demo of Real Estate IQ solutions with one of our experts. We'll walk you through everything you need to know. For more information, you can contact bracelet@realestateIQ.co or also answer the poll that appears on your screen. You can also scan the QR codes that appear on the screen and search us in our social media accounts. You can find us in Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, so you don't miss any of our news, and you can join us in our community. And this is the Academy, Learning Made Easy. Here you can find our best webinars and short courses, so you can stream it at any time and from wherever you are based. So you can log in to stream. We have Orianna and Ray today with us talking about double your cash flow using PadSplit. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about them. They are a dynamic duo with 18 years of combined experience in real estate investing. Their journey spans various facets of the industry, from flourishing as wholesalers to navigating the intricate landscape of hedge fund acquisitions. Their evolution culminated in owning a robust 47-door portfolio that continues to grow, comprising co-living properties. As senior national account executives for PadSplit, Ray and Orianna have left an indelible mark, onboarding over 1,500 units to the platform in 2023 alone. Their expertise extends across many states and cities where PadSplit operates, including Dallas, Las Vegas, Richmond, Baltimore, Jacksonville, Tampa, Miami, Orlando, Atlanta, and Houston. So thank you guys for joining us today. It's amazing to count with you, and thank you for sharing your expertise with us. We're so thankful to have you with us today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me today. Ray will be joining in a second. You'll have me in the meantime, but I'm super excited to share with all you guys a little bit more. So I'm going to share my screen. All right. Hold on a second. Of course, now I can't find my screen.
No worries.
So I want to do a tab. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Awesome. So what I would like to do is first, I'm going to present to you guys, and then we will do some Q&A at the end. Do you have any specific style of Q&A that you guys do, or is it just all through the chat?
You can use the chat and the Q&A box. I suggest all the attendees to use both of them, so feel free to check both so you can see all the concerns that people have.
Awesome, perfect. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, wonderful. All right, awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also put the chat next to. Very excited to present this opportunity for you guys today. PadSplit. I'll share a little bit about me, even though you did share about me and Ray, but I've been doing real estate for some time, and my main purpose has been helping investors increase their portfolio through cash flow, through real estate deals, whatever that looks like. And one day we decided to essentially create that wealth for ourselves as well. So right now we have 47 PadSplit doors. So we're full-time investors, but also full-time actually representing PadSplit as well. And PadSplit was a company, is a company that is designed for the workforce. There is a huge affordable housing crisis that we're facing in the United States, and we are creating a solution for that big problem that we're all facing. PadSplit was founded in 2017 in Atlanta, Georgia. And ever since we opened our doors, we have expanded significantly. We have helped and serviced over 20,000 different members through our platform. We have grown to over 18 cities nationwide already. We have over 11,000 units in the platform, and we continue to grow and expand. So, PadSplit is a prop tech company, and we raised capital in our second series of funding, which was our Series B. Within our series of funding, we did raise capital from individuals like Mark Cuban, Citibank, and Cox Enterprises, just to show you the individuals that are behind us. So we have large visionaries that are behind PadSplit, helping us grow and completely succeed as we continue to expand. These are the cities that we're currently operating in. Is anybody in any of these cities at the current moment? Is anybody operating or invested in any of these cities at the current moment? Can't really see it. Okay. We are in Washington, Baltimore, Richmond, Raleigh, Charlotte, all of Florida. We're also in Texas. We've expanded so much. We actually opened 6 new markets this year, which included Charlotte, Raleigh, Durham, Philadelphia, San Antonio, Austin, and Washington, D.C. Which is really exciting that we continue to grow and expand. This is what PadSplit is doing. This is our secret sauce. We are essentially consulting with investors on how to maximize the existing space in their properties by creating more bedrooms. So in this specific example, this investor had a 4-bedroom, 3-bath as its existing floor plan, and we suggested to him to convert that living room and that dining room into additional bedrooms, and this large master bedroom into also 2 more bedrooms. So this property originally as a 4-3 resulted as a PadSplit of 7 bedrooms, 3 baths. So what remained to be common is really the kitchen, the hallway, and the bathrooms. Nothing else, as we are fully eliminating common areas to avoid conflict between unrelated people and instead creating opportunity for cash flow for investors. So let's look at some numbers so we can see on average what returns look like on a PadSplit. So this investor did purchase this property for about $185, and I know that the purchase price will vary per market per city. But in this specific example, it was about $185. In order for him to make it PadSplit ready, which included adding all walls and making the conversions and fully furnished the bedrooms, he spent a total of $25,000 for the property investment. So he was all in for $210. When he decided to rent the property within the platform, so he onboarded and listed it on PadSplit. Since he now has 7 bedrooms, he generated under $75,000 for the year in rental income. But in comparison to long term, he would have only generated $21,000 in rental income alone. So now there is additional overhead expenses as a PadSplit host, and that includes now you're responsible for paying for utilities. Of course, there is a PadSplit fee. That's how we are able to grow and expand. You're also responsible for all maintenance and any additional things that might come up on your property. Even when we subtract all the overhead expenses from operating a PadSplit, you are looking at, in this specific case, this investor took home about under $54,000 for the year in comparison to about $12,000 that he would have only generated with a long-term property. These are some quick stats on the platform, which are significantly important for me to share with you all. So PadSplit has a 90% occupancy throughout the platform. And this really means that you have a vacancy of 10% on average. It's going to vary per state and per city as we go in a lot more specific angle. But on average, we have a 90% occupancy, which is about 10% vacancy, which is honestly very, very healthy. We also have a very high collection rate as PadSplit is doing all the payments and the collections. And we have a 95 to 97% positive collection rate, which is also very, very good. And for you as an investor, I mean, those are phenomenal terms as well. Our tenure of our members are an average between 8 to 10 months. So this means that we have a hybrid between a midterm and a long-term tenure on average of our members staying, right? So while in the short-term mentor space, we are seeing an average of 2 to 3 days, well, here at PadSplit, we're seeing 8 to 10 months on average, which is really nice. We also notice that every single time one of our investors onboards a property, they will get their second property within the first 90 days. And the reason why I'd like to share this is because this just gives us internally at PadSplit the understanding that people are really enjoying the returns, the platform, the technology, and everything that we provide, and they want to do this over and over again, right? So that's just a very healthy sign as well. What exactly is PadSplit doing for you, the investor? So first and foremost, PadSplit is doing all the marketing, all the advertising. We're doing over 60 rental listing services where we are promoting your property, when we're making sure we are putting the word out on the rooms that are in the platform, and we're getting people interested. We are then qualifying the members when they choose to rent one of these rooms. So we're doing a background check, work check, credit verification, making sure that everybody is financially able to pay, they have a secure job, and they have a good background check overall. PadSplit is also responsible for doing all the payments and the collections. So we're doing weekly and bi-weekly payments, and we take care of all those things. And the reason why we choose to do the payments and the collections on a weekly and bi-weekly basis is because traditionally most people get paid bi-weekly, right? So when we align ourselves with that type of structure, our members pay us a lot more on time. When a member is defaulting because they are behind maybe a week or two, they're able to also get caught up faster versus a month later, right? And it also protects the investor ultimately because when someone is late 1 week, we are able to capture that better. The investor is also able to notice that someone didn't pay 1 week on time, and we're able to take actionable steps and have a conversation with the member and find out what's going on versus waiting an entire month to find out that someone was not able to pay for the previous month. We're also assisting on the member management. So all the move-ins that occur in the property, all the move-outs that occur in the property, we are also managing and taking care of, as well as everything does happen through the platform, through the interface of the platform that was created. And last one that is so important and so big, you have an onboarding consultant which is guiding you through the process, which in this case is Ray and myself, and we're guiding you through the process. From us sitting down, analyzing one of your existing properties and finding out if this is a good PadSplit fit, or potentially us looking at a potential property that you would like to purchase to make it a PadSplit ready property. We will help you with showing you how to best maximize the space. If you do not have a contractor that you trust that can potentially do this job, we're able to connect you with a contractor that has experience with PadSplit and that can help you fully do this entire job for you. If you're looking, for example, somebody that can help you with photography, that's also something that we can connect you with. So ultimately, we want to make sure that you are becoming a successful PadSplit host, and we will take the journey together from all the way to acquisition or conversion from your existing property, all the way to onboarding and you being fully live on the platform. So we're essentially walking the journey together. Let's talk a little bit on the member side, because PadSplit is a double-sided marketplace, and we are connecting investors like yourself, myself, and Ray with members that are looking for a safe and affordable place for them to live, right? So the reason why they choose PadSplit and they benefit from living at a PadSplit is because first and foremost, we are having one bill for them that includes all utilities in a fully furnished room with no necessarily long-term commitments. If they were actually renting outside of PadSplit, they still have to pay for water, electrical, internet, and rent, right? We're actually offering an entire package deal within what we're offering to the members. We're also reporting positively to the credit bureau every single time they pay on time. And we have seen an increase between 40 to 50 points on average throughout the tenure of their stay within PATS, which is something that really benefits the members as well. The members that will benefit the most from staying at a PadSplit are going to be individuals that are coming from retail stores, service workers, hospitality, recent graduates. Ray and myself have properties in Florida. We are investing in Jacksonville and in Orlando, and they're all PadSplits. And we have serviced individuals that have worked for Universal, for Disney. We have also tons of individuals that work in the construction business. We've also serviced individuals that work for hospitals, hotels. I mean, you name it, tons of different backgrounds. We have been able to service all those individuals through us having rooms for them to rent. Some important things to consider. Let me clarify, PadSplit is not a one-stop shop, and we are not a property management. We are a platform. Just like you use any short-term rental space platform to go and list your property, we are in that the same. Okay, so PadSplit does not manage your property, does not take care of the cleaning, does not take care of any repairs or any things that need to be taken care of and addressed in your property. So you're going to choose to either self-manage or use a property manage. If you choose to self-manage, this really means that when summer hits and the AC is not working correctly, you're going to get a call from PadSplit. We're going to notify you through the platform. Hey, Johnny, your AC is not working correctly. The members are complaining, and you're going to have to send somebody out to the property to be serviced, to be checked out, right? With a property manager, they will be receiving those calls. Now, we are taking away a lot of the responsibilities that the property managers has as we are finding the members, we are screening them, we're doing all the payments and the collections. And this is the reason why we've noticed that some of these property managers are charging less, between 6 to 8%. And it really is going to depend according to the room count that you have and the location of your property in comparison to where their headquarters is, right? But on average, more or less, that's what you're going to notice. And guess what? If you do not have a property manager that understands PadSplit, we can connect you with experienced property managers that have experience with PadSplit, understand what we are. They currently have existing PadSplits in their portfolio, and they will be the great fit for you and your portfolio. What are PadSplit fees? Because this is obviously a question that will come up a lot, and you're curious to know what we charge. PadSplit is charging 8% for anything that you generate on a monthly basis. If your property only generated $300, then it's minus 8%. If your PadSplit generated $5,000, $7,000, $3,000, then it's going to be minus 8%. In addition to that, what PadSplit does charge is that every time we book in a new member for you, PadSplit is keeping the first 10 days of their rent. Okay, so if I decided to move in yesterday into a PadSplit, that host will be charged my first 10 days of rent. Then after that is strictly just 8%. One of my last information that I want to share with you all. So as a public benefit corporation, we've been recognized and awarded by Inc. 5000, New York Times, Forbes magazines, and Best in Business Inc. magazine because we are really creating some positive impact in our communities and creating an important solution that we're all facing. So just a lot of good things that we're doing in the ground and in the works. This is a little bit of our information. If you would like to sit with us and talk about your portfolio, or maybe talk about how can you start with your first PadSplit, how we can connect you with the right individuals in the city that you're currently based out of, just scan that QR code and we will definitely get in contact with you and we'll spend some time together. course, that's also our other personal information. We have our phone numbers, our emails, and our social media that we're constantly posting a lot of content regarding PadSplit and, of course, some extra real estate. We do have a Facebook group, and this Facebook group is hosted by us because we're host, but it's filled with existing hosts that are actually doing PadSplit. So if you feel like you want to speak to other people that are currently doing it and you want to pick someone else's brain that is actively in the PadSplit platform and is operating something, this is the perfect opportunity for you to network with other individuals that are nationwide, as we have onboarded host in every city that we're currently operating in, and they will gladly share their experiences. But feel free to join and also introduce yourself. Great place to network. There's so much resources in there. It's just a really good space for you to connect with other investors. That's all I have. Do we have any questions? I know that Ray's been responding through the chat, but I would love to address any questions that you guys all have.
Let me send some questions that you have answered because they were sent only to the panelists. So sorry to turn on my mic, just because I want to make sure that they are addressed to everyone. Mainly the answers that you were guys sharing in the chat. I want to make sure that you
Thank
have.
you so
Now you're welcome. Feel free, everybody, to ask all the questions that you may have to Orianna and Ray.
I'll expand a little bit on what my answer was on the Salt Lake City stuff. So for Salt Lake City, for any city that we consider core, because there's usually opportunity to buy outside of major cities. So if we say Dallas, for example, we all know that outside of Dallas, you might be able to find something cheaper. But I will say that when analyzing a property that might be a pad split, you always want to consider that if you are buying in an untested area where we don't necessarily consider it a core market, where we're spending $500,000 a month in marketing to attract members to want to stay in that property, you're going to want to be then in a city where there is a large population, there are a lot of jobs, and there is a need for housing. And so when we start to think like nationally, in Philly, we just did Philly, and in Philly, it's becoming unaffordable. Um, and so you start to think, okay, well, do I want to do Lancaster? No, because Lancaster technically is an affordable city, and you can already get cheaper housing, and it's not as big of a city as Philly is. So PadSplit does have two tracks and two ways of managing properties or managing the process. And one is PadSplit Core Markets, the cities Orianna mentioned, and then PadSplit Anywhere, where we are still doing the screening, the marketing. It doesn't include paid marketing. It does just 60 different listing services. So we screen the members, we do the marketing for the rooms, we collect the money on a weekly, bi-weekly basis, and then we still manage the people in the house. We just don't have a dedicated account executive in that city, and we don't have much market data because we're not doing too much research in that city. So that's like my expanded answer for that one.
What, Maria, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to share a little bit on the platform so we can actually see a little bit on the interface and what that looks like. So give me just a moment and let me pull this up in the meantime.
Also, Johnny is asking if you have a setup fee to begin.
No, it costs absolutely nothing outside of you doing the conversion to adapt your property into making it fully PadSplit ready. So remember, your success is fully attached to ours. So if your rooms are vacant or not getting occupied, you're not generating any cash flow, PadSplit isn't either. So it's in our best interest to make sure that you're actually getting those rooms rented. So this is what the interface is going to look like. And essentially here in important notifications, it will show you individuals that are moving out, and it's going to tell you such individuals moving out of this room and this property, this date, or the opposite. These individuals are actually moving into such property, this date, and you as the host of the property, you get to approve or reject a member. Right? The specific host is choosing to approve these two members, but he has a lot of activity happening on his dashboard, and he's constantly just controlling this and again, you get to approve them or not. Okay, so you have an occupancy snapshot right over here. So this specific investor has a total of 315 total rooms. Now, this is a total of, I'm going to look in a second. I probably am not able to see it on this screen. And I'll tell you in a second how many properties this translates into. But keep in mind that this investor has a diversified portfolio from ADUs to single family homes to multifamilies. Okay. But out of the 315 total rooms that he existently has with PadSplit, he has 268 of those are occupied. His occupancy is about 85%. He actually just onboarded 10 units today, so his occupancy decreased a little bit. He has 40 of those that are vegan, 5 move-ins, so that's also going to increase his occupancy, and 2 rooms needs to be flipped, meaning a member left. He needs to get the room cleaned and ready for the next person to move in. All right. This is a little bit on the financial snapshot of his earnings. So far this year, and let me actually, there we go, make my screen a little smaller so it's easier for everybody to see it. So in January, he brought in about 245, 209, and March, it's still going in for him. So we're going to see what that looks like for him. And I wonder if I can do the earnings. Let's look at what he brought in last year in 2023. So in 2023, he had a total in December of 55 properties total. Okay, so he closed the year of 2023 with 55 PadSplit properties, and that brought him in $1.79 million for the year in total income. Now, what you're going to notice in these two columns is the income that your property generated versus the earnings. And the difference here is that this is what you generated, and this is minus PadSplit fee. So we are taking that, and this is what you're actually taking home. So like I mentioned, he just onboarded 10 units, so you can see here, and it should actually reflect shortly in his portfolio. But he started with his first property in April 2022, just with one property. He was doing this with one property for 3 months, and then slowly he started just adding more units to his portfolio. And now he's a total of 58 total properties. And I'm going to go and quickly look at one property of his, so just we can see a little bit. So I'm going to click the first one. So this property has 7 bedrooms total, and 7 out of those 7 are fully occupied. This property is in Tampa, Florida, as obviously we can tell right here. So, and again, this is the total income of the property, which so far this month has been $4,700. This expense is the PadSplit expense that is shown right here on this dashboard. And this is actually what he is taking home, right? So if I were to look at room number 1, this member has been living in this property since July 2022. So he's been here some time now. This member has been here since November. This individual has been here a year, January 2023. Okay, this is a newer member, just moved in March, but this member's been here since December, March last year, so a year also, and then November 26th of last year. So as you can tell, some of these members have been here a while, but he also has some newer members. But for the most part, these are individuals that have been here. So the property is very stabilized. It's very steady, just income constantly just being generated. Let's check out the second one. Okay, awesome. So income for the month has been 3,000. That is the PadSplit expense right here. Monthly earnings about 2,500. Okay, newer member, March 21st, 2024. This individual moved in January. She's been here since October last year, February last year, July 2023. So you see a combination of newer and older members as well. So this is what a bedroom looks like inside of a PadSplit, and I'm going to zoom in into that photo so you all can see better. What do we require? We are requiring a bed. According to the bedroom size, we would like for you to have full or queen. Kings are not necessarily ideal because it does invite more people if we prefer not to have additional guests. So we require a bed, a nightstand, a night lamp. Wall art is not required, but of course it just makes it a lot cozier and appealing. And if you do not have a closet because potentially you converted a living space like the living room or the dining room, then you need some sort of storage for clothes, an armoire, a wardrobe, a clothing rack, something to supplement for that absence. Same style right here, right? So this is an average what a PadSplit would look like. So as a host, you are not required to provide any linens and bedding. This is provided by the members, and they understand that this is what they need to do when they onboard and they essentially sign up for PadSplit, and that's what they are getting themselves into. Okay, there he goes. One property of his just got listing, and it's letting him know that his property just went live. Oh yeah, good opportunity for me to share about this. We currently have a $3,000 referral host. This means that if one of you sends us a referral, and this referral actually goes on the platform live by July, you will get a $3,000 referral. Just for you sending us a person that could be great fit for this investment strategy. And I'm talking about investors, right? Not necessarily members, but any investor that would like to onboard a property and you send us a referral, you need to connect us with Ray and myself so we can know that it came from you, or else there's really no way to track it. You are able to collect $3,000. So that's pretty cool. You are able here to control the move-in days as early as 2 days is what he has currently, and also the actual times for move-ins and move-outs as well. This is where you will find the vendors that you can browse, but obviously if you're working with us directly, we will connect them directly to you as we're going to be there through the entire process. Just wanted to share a little bit on that so you can see what the interface looks like, and just really cool. Any more questions that we have? Ray, do you want to chime in since you've been on the chat?
Yeah. So to expand on the one question that Sam had, verbalize it, is location an important thing? Kind of want to hammer in with location, not just a job portion of it, where obviously the more jobs you have in your area, the more we're able to fill your property up with PadSplit members, but also the types of jobs also matter. So for example, Orlando, Florida, I'll kind of give you some numbers. In Orlando, Florida, I did a search near Disney where there are over 5,000 jobs that are hotels. And so when looking at an area like Orlando, well, Kissimmee, you see that there are 5,000 people that make on average somewhere around $20 an hour. And to be able to afford a studio apartment in that same area, you have to make somewhere around $35 an hour just to qualify. And so, yes, location does matter, not only because of jobs, but to understand what's the market size for the particular type of member that you're looking for. And then also understanding what price point you're probably going to end up being for your pad split, because location also is a factor in what's your brackets. Are you $180 a week, or are you $220 a week? Are you possibly, if you're in Miami, are you $300 starting price going up to $400 a week? So city matters, zip code matters, and even location and what jobs around you matter. And that's why it's important to kind of run it by us so that we can use a lot of what we've been working on for the last 3 years in PadSplit, as well as how we assess properties for our own portfolio. For mobile homes, if it's like a can home, I would say no. And the reason why I would say no is because it's harder to divide those properties. And visually speaking, people aren't going to probably select that as often as a regular single family home. And so we could do manufactured home, not manufactured home, but prefab houses, prefabricated houses. And with the prefab houses, they'll build it out away from site, then bring it to the property, and then place it on site. And then you can go ahead and separate and divide and do what you want to do. But for mobile homes, yeah, you can't really divide that too much. And so you're not going to be able to maximize that space as much as you want it to, and it won't be as appealing when you list the property on the platform. But single family homes, multifamily homes, and then we have seen some oddities. The oddities like yeah, I don't like those graphic stuff, but the oddities, like I've seen churches converted. I've seen elementary schools in Atlanta, lofts, dentist office in Florida. So I mean, if you think of a dentist office, single standard dentist office, one floor, lots of windows around, with a lot of water and electrical per room. And so you start to think, oh, I can now acquire this. Each of these are now bedrooms. All I need to do is do the conversion for the windows and repurpose some of the areas to be common bathrooms, common kitchens. And now you have yourself a property that's already zoned for commercial. And for PadSplit, you don't have to be zoned commercial, but for peace of mind, commercial with a lot of parking, now you might have yourself a 16 to 20 unit PadSplit with multiple bathrooms. So, I mean, I do have, if how much time do we have left by any chance? Okay, so I guess I'll share my screen. I didn't anticipate to, but happy to do so. And so what I do have is a nice little deck that we created that kind of goes over the process of becoming a host. And it's more like advice that I would give another investor on how I would go about doing it all over again. And so that right there is one of our rooms. It's kind of basic in photo, but it's PadSplit standard. And we like to make sure that the house feels like a home, the room feels like a home, and it's not just something that someone looks at and says, I'll be here for a week. And so I want someone to have longer tenure in the property so that we can sustain the income that we're generating in our properties. And so the time, not the timeline, but the process is basically letter of intent is interest in you becoming a PadSplit host. Hey guys, I'm interested. How do you connect us to someone who can get us a property? If you already have a property or you're looking for a property, you would fall under the property selected stage. Renovation started is when you go through the rehab, and then listing is when you start to create the listing. We obviously guide you through that whole process. So some information on property selected and what to look for. You're going to want to focus on B, C class neighborhoods, no HOA communities, not very high density, but high density. The way I like to think about it is for Airbnbs and short-term rentals, you're going to want to be very selective in area that you're looking for, because not every area is an area that someone's going to want to stay in. But for PadSplit, even the touristy areas end up being very great because the people who service those touristy areas all need a place to be able to live in. And then all the other people who support the community also need a place to live in. And there's a lot more singles than couples out there. So high density is very important. minimum bathroom count is more important than bedroom count, because for every 4 bedrooms, and that's on the next slide, but for every 4 bedrooms, you want to have 1 bathroom. So if you only have 1 bathroom, you can only get up to 4 bedrooms. And a bathroom rehab or a bathroom addition is a heavy cost. And so whenever I'm looking at a property, it's always going to be something that has multiple bathrooms. Square footage, it depends more on layout. So if you have basements and attics and you have extra unique space, in those extra unique spaces, you can generate additional bedrooms and you could be at a low square footage. The most rooms we got out of the least amount of square footage based off of layout was a property that was a 3 bedroom, 1 bath, and it was about 1,000 to 1,100 square feet, and we got 6 bedrooms out of it. And it was obviously because of layout. Parking spaces, I go over the ratio on that as well, but you do want to have some ample parking space. You don't need massive amount of parking space. The numbers for every 2 bedrooms, one parking spot, and you want to be near public transit. Kind of goes hand in hand with being in a major city. When it comes to ratios, as I mentioned, 4 bedrooms to 1 bath, 2 bedrooms to 1 parking space. You want your bedroom at minimum to be 80 square feet, the shortest wall being 8 foot. And you want 2 egresses per room. So an egress is a way out of the building in case of emergency. So it could be a window to the outside or a door, and then a way to get into the room. It cannot be a room in the middle of the house where you go into the room and still end up out inside the house if you jump out of another door. That's not how it works. That's a hazard and it's not good for liability. And so we won't approve it. Room features, we obviously can give you more information on this, but this is our other property. And this is us providing an additional desk so that the members can see a better room. And this is how we're advertising it. We get better rates because we're providing a better product, and you're showcasing the property to be a better product. So it's not only important to do the work and the rehab, and it's not only good to provide good products, but it's also good to show the good product by taking good photos. Ideal locations, and again, we kind of geared this one conversation towards Florida people, but it really is national. Look to be in a core market, pre-selected by PadSplit because they're already spending the money on the marketing. You want to be near large areas of work, so theme parks, downtowns, hotels, clusters of hotels, convention centers, all of that. You're going to want to utilize extra space that isn't considered bedrooms, like a bonus room and office space or family room, lofts, and all of that stuff. And mother-in-law suites are fantastic because that's an opportunity to provide an ensuite that you're able to charge another $50 to $70 a week for that particular type of property. So this is a property that this is our very first home when we were putting furniture together on our own. And then obviously this is our attempt of staging. But this is our process of purchase, rehab, refi, and then put in PadSplit walls. The initial property looked like this. We pop the wall out, we move the vent over, we put lights where the hall is going to be, and then we put walls after we did the cash out refinance. So in this middle stage between the two photos, we knew we knew this was going to be a room from the beginning. We did the rehab so that it can we did the rehab so that the final product was already going to be there, and all we had to do was put the walls up. So when we did the cash out refi with the bank saw this and thought to themselves, long-term rental. After we did the cash out refi, we put the walls up, which was very minimal rehab, and we did it with the money that we pulled out on that refi. The listing process, very last step, it's a 4-step process. You input some information, step 1, general information on area. Step 2 is details about the rooms. Step 3 is upload photos. Step 4 is to hit the submit button. If you can at least get through step 1, it creates a coming soon. That coming soon allows you to go ahead and pre-market your property. We'll advise you to do it within a month of your property going live. So when you are pre-advertising your property now, let's say you have 7 rooms or even 10 rooms. You have 56 people in this image interested in your PadSplit property before it's even live, which is fantastic. And then market data research, when PadSplit is a core market and it's not a PadSplit anywhere, we do provide data insight whenever there's rooms that are rented. And we let you know there's 34 active units. There is none coming up in that zip code. This is what the weekly rate is for a regular room. This is what the weekly rate is for a private bathroom. And this is what the occupancy is for that zip code on average. We also let you know how many days to first booking on average, and as well as how much is it to 80%. And then obviously some other data. We like to teach people. So as opposed to you going through the process and talking to someone who just tells you, hey, this fits the criteria, we let you know on what generates you more money on the front end, so that as you're acquiring your property, you're already making these decisions that are getting you a multiplier when it comes to renting your room. So if you plan to just create standard rooms of 8 by 10, you're going to get basic results. But if I tell you that if you can extend that wall a couple feet more, it's going to increase your weekly rate by $14. And if I tell you that, hey, also by making it a bigger room, now you can put a queen size bed, and that queen size bed now is going to increase your weekly rate by $9. So instead of you figuring this out at the tail end after you've done your rehab, we're already talking about this in the beginning, so you can anticipate this and so you can get higher returns and do better than what the typical person's doing when they're getting basic advice. And so this is just some information on what generates you higher returns. We obviously let you know beforehand so that when you go through the process, it's no surprise and you kind of know brackets of what you potentially can make. This is a nice little practice that I like to do, and this is the end of like my slide, or my slides mostly. This is a 2-bedroom house. There's a mudroom and there's a bathroom with some additional rooms. What I like to show is some imagination. I click on this, and now you're looking at this property as now a 5-bedroom, 2-bath house. Turning that mudroom into a private bath, make it into a bathroom. You could technically make it to a private bathroom and now make more money in this room, or you could keep this and have a better bedroom to bathroom ratio. And then you would take that breakfast area, make it to a bedroom because there's sliding doors. This area you can turn into a bedroom because there's multiple windows. And then this area you can utilize the front door as an egress in and out of the front of the house. And then you have your regular common door in the middle of your home. And so that's one example. Here's another one that's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, where now you're taking this family room and you're getting 2 rooms out of it. And instead of, let's say, building another bathroom or something like that, what some people do is they'll do a cutout. If you notice here, where you'll build kind of a hallway to separate the room from the bathroom. And so now you're looking at your property differently. So instead of thinking, wow, I need to add another bathroom, no, you could utilize the same space you have. You just kind of get a little more creative on how to separate things. So same information. And that is pause share, stop share. That is all we have for at least this stage of it. For anybody that's obviously interested, I would implore you to obviously reach out, set up a time so that we could be able to assess either your property, your market, or your area. There's a ton more information, obviously, per step. But we're here to obviously be a support and a base of knowledge for you guys.
Thank you, guys. It was an amazing presentation. I'm gonna give a couple more minutes in case someone else has another question maybe. Remember, you can always contact Orianna Ray. Thank you, guys, for sharing your expertise with us. I'm gonna also share the last poll that also helps us improve a lot and know what you think about this presentation, if you like the topic, and what other topics would you be interested in seeing more. So thank you, Maria. She will contact you guys. Thank you for sharing your expertise again. We expect you in future webinars. It was a pleasure to count with you. Thank you, Johnny. And I also left the link for the Eventbrite event, for our in-person event on Sunday, with all the information of what you're gonna learn. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for having us, Johnny, Maria, everybody that was here. Like I said, feel free to reach out to us. If you didn't scan the QR code, just find us on social media. We will be glad to help you guys. There's tons of resources also on the website. But yeah, just reach out to us at any point in time. We're here to help you ultimately. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. We will share the recording link, of course, Deepak, and you will also have access of that to that in our website as well. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.